every once in a while I get to do something off stream. So why not play Mishra's Workshop? Okay, welcome back, Vintage Gamers. This is actually the same day as the Vintage Showcase, which will have aired on Monday, and this will be airing on a Wednesday. This is a Vintage Challenge following the Vintage Showcase, which was a couple hours ago. Started a couple hours ago. It's still going now, obviously. If you watch that video, you'll know it went really, really poorly. Picked the wrong deck. Didn't wake up in time. A bunch of bad things that were unfortunate, but it is what it is. That means that if I want to play in the mocks for Vintage this year, I'm going to have to 5-0 on LCQ. To play in LCQs, I'm going to need qualifier points. I currently have 96 qualifier points, so I can play 2 of the 4 LCQs. One of the LCQs I can't play no matter what. It's just a bad timing window. So I kind of have enough QPs for the 2 ones that I feel like I want to play. But it doesn't hurt to maybe try to get to 120 qualifier points to maybe playing 3 LCQs. Today, I'm taking just a chill, easy day. I'm not going to live stream this event because I already tried to stream this morning, and obviously it went really badly. So I'm just going to play a nice chill off-stream challenge. I'm playing a Sphere Shops deck here that is closer slanted to the classical Aggro Shops for Null Rod main, but I'm not playing any Golos. But instead, I'm just playing the full set of Automatons, Crawlers, Nettlecysts, Stonecoil Serpents with an additional Metamorph and Lodestone Golem at the top. I don't know if this is good, but I got rid of all the utility lands, and I'm playing some City of the Traders. It's just a deck that will be quick rounds, so I can do other things today. But I'll restream this and record this, and we'll see. It's nice because it's a deck that, you know, it extends my range, and it keeps me honest, and allows me to think about some other options for events. I haven't really considered a Sphere Shops deck in a long time, but I actually think they're pretty well suited for certain metagames, especially Lurrus Frog heavy metagames, especially blue-black Lurrus Frog heavy metagames. So it's nice to have them in your range. Anything else about this list? Like I said, I just took a list and then I maxed out on all the cards I thought were good with the Null Rod, Patchwork, Nettlecyst, Crawler, Stonecoil Serpent. And then I took out like the very toolbox heavy stuff to try to be more aggro slanted and see if we can't punch him dead. I'll see you in round 1 of this Vintage Challenge. I am happy to announce the dates for high stakes proxy friendly Vintage in 2026. The legendary NYSE returns to Long Island in New York on June 6th. This $500 entry fee tournament will pay out 8 pieces of unlimited power. The Oklahoma Land Run returns in 2026 on July 10th through 12th at the Reed Convention Center in Oklahoma City. Play Friday Team Trios, Saturday Legacy for a Mox Sapphire, and Sunday Vintage for a Mox Emerald. Event links can be found in the description below. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. Okay, here's round 1 of our Rebound Showcase event. Up against Beerus, probably on Dredge. Gonna look for a hand that has a Wasteland and a Sphere, probably. Did lose the die roll though, so might be too much. Obviously, not having Golos means we don't have access to the Bajuka Bog. Might be challenging. Here's a Sphere, but no Wasteland. Feel like that's probably not good enough. That's probably not good enough. I think it has to be a Wasteland immediately, or the game is not playable. It's a really good post-board matchup, obviously, with ley lines, needle, Wormcoil, cages. It's going to be a great post-board matchup. But game 1, without having access to the Bajuka Bog, means we're entirely reliant on like Wasteland and Bobble style effects to get us to there. So I don't know if Beerus is playing this showcase as well. He might be. So something to consider as well. But he usually plays pretty fast, even on the double queue, so not too worried. We'll see what happens. But It's an interesting build of this. I kind of just threw it together as a way of trying to be a little bit more aggressive with the deck and see how it would pan out. Really think that like Null Rod's quite good right now, so obviously not good against Dredge, but can't win them all, right? I'm gonna mulligan. My opponent kept their 6. This one still doesn't have a wasteland, but I think we just have to keep this one. Can't imagine we can mulligan this one away. If we get griefed here, it's quite bad for us, but again, like, you can only go so low looking for a wasteland. See what we can do. Chill Thug Shell. Hey, found a wasteland. Unfortunately, if I kept my other mocks, I would have been able to play the Lodestone Golem this turn. Hopefully they don't have a Noxious Revival. I think I'm gonna hold back the Crypt. No, I probably shouldn't hold back the Crypt because of a variety of random things. Don't know that a 3/3 Stone Coil Serpent does anything is a problem I'm having here, but also I don't know. Seems fine. The only reason like you would maybe not want to do this is because it doesn't actually do anything, but my opponent wants to not get a clock, which makes sense. Here comes the normal Dredge, Narcomoeba. Oh, they have double Bazaar. Bro, bro, double Bazaar grief me. Maybe today is just not the day. Okay, well, okay, on to game 2. We're gonna bring in Leylines, Needles, Cages, and Worm Coils. Those are all quite good here. Dorn. All the Null Rods are gonna come out. Karn is gonna come out. I think some Stone Coils can probably come out. Those don't seem particularly great. This looks fine. Maybe we can keep Thorn then. Okay. So post board, we're looking for different things here. Obviously, ley lines are great, but any way to stop our opponent from casting spells, like a sphere, ends up being a lot better. Go watch out for Mindbreak Trap. But I think with no wasteland, no ley line, no cage, this hand is not good enough. I can go turn 1 sphere and then play Lotus, and then I still need to draw mana to play Worm Coil anyway, so I think I just mulligan this hand. Okay, this is a wasteland ley line hand, so I'm in. We do have the chance to get blown out by Vigor, but that's acceptable. I guess I have to put a card back, huh? Might just be Tolarian. Can't play if I play Saga, I can't play Nettle Cyst around Trap here. So if I is there? I guess there's no way to play around Trap besides not casting Nettle Cyst, which doesn't seem right to me. So I actually think I'm putting away Tolarian Academy, which is something I've never said in my life. I have a ley line. Let's see if they kill me right away. I lose the game, I think. I think I have to play the Saga. Like, I can't just not play the Saga. But if I get Vigored here, it's pretty game losing. Looks like I have a Vigor. 7-card keep. Bizarre Vigor. Blue-green card. Pretty good. Means I won't be able to play the Nettle Cyst right away. It means I won't be able to play a Wasteland and have Nettle Cyst out. Be pretty losing, but again, I don't think I'm allowed to play this in any meaningful way. Like, if I wait, it doesn't actually help me, right? This gives them less information. So I feel like it makes the most sense. Like, they don't know if I'm going to follow this up with, like, I don't know, something. But because if I do this first and then I do this, then they definitely hit it. Fucking Saga trigger on the stack. Yeah. Get got, Justin. You fool. Oh, it resolved. Okay. Then soaring. Get misstepped on this. It's like he's just playing another match of Magic, is what I would suspect. All right. So I have a Nettle Cyst, I have a Saga, I have a Leyline, and I have a Wasteland. It's pretty good. It's kind of what we're looking for. It's kind of why the matchup is going to be better post-board. They have a lot of stuff for it. You'll find that these non-blue decks typically have a lot of good cards post-board for Bazaar because they just only have so many options. I'll have to see if Vigor hits. Yeah, Vigor hits Saga and Leyline in my upkeep. Just going to shrink my Germ token. Sphere. That will make it so the opponent's not casting any more spells this game. I'll play the Sphere before Wastelanding so I can play around Noxious Revival. I guess technically they could like have a second Bazaar and tap and play a hollow one through a Sphere, but... All right. 5-turn clock on our Germ token. This is still a pretty good start, all things considered. Let's see what happens. It's going to be tough for my opponent to come back because I can't Vigor this anymore. Unless they get like a Wasteland or some kind of land that makes mana. Vigor, pretty good though. Hitting Saga and Leyline. There's a lot of value in that. I would say we are pretty likely to win this game, but you never know. Things could happen. Okay. Yeah, that's a one I can't cast because I don't have 4 mana to play through my Sphere. But I'm attacking 5 times with this Germ token. If I hit, I guess it would have to be a Mana Crypt. But if I hit a Mana Crypt, I can actually kill them in 2 attacks. All right. Black Lotus, that'll do it. So I play a Black Lotus. I guess I used the wrong lens here, whatever. And then I play a Crucible. And then I play a Saga. And I attack for 6. And I attack for 6 again next turn. Pretty nice. Sped the clock up by a turn. Good draw. Pretty happy so far. Obviously, game 1 was brutal, but sometimes you get double Bazared. Okay, it's a solid win. Again, same things are still good here. We're on the draw, though, so Leyline becomes more important. Looking for an opening hand with Leyline is our #1 goal. After that, it's things like Wasteland, and then obviously the things that stop our opponent from doing the stuff. If we don't have Leyline, we kind of looking for something that's like play a Sphere and a Cage, play a Sphere and a Needle, play a a bauble and a cage or a needle, something like that. Okay, so this has a wasteland, it has a cage, it has a lotus, a sphere, it doesn't have a ley line, but it seems reasonable. Obviously, if I get griefed, they could take the lotus, in which case we have cage and wasteland. They kept a 6-card hand. No, they kept a 6-card hand. Solid keeps. See what happens. Icarus Shell Amalgam and Grief. What is he going to grief? Could grief Cage, I guess, as well. 2 cards left in their hand, so... They could take Lotus if he has a force left to counter the Cage. Grief means that this Icarid can eat the Grief and bring back an Amalgam for permanent Lee, which is not great. I kind of almost wish we had a workshop or something. It'll be interesting if my opponent takes Lotus. Is my play Wasteland? Is my play Saga Cage? To the Cage. Okay. Crawler. So... do I sphere my opponent? Crawler pretty bad against Bazaar. Maybe did I have other options I could have taken out instead of Crawler? I guess I could have taken out the Crawler instead of Stone Coils. I guess that would have been slightly better, maybe. Maybe not. Like, I don't have mana, so. The problem with Sphere of Resistance here is I need to draw a workshop to play my cards, which is a fairly large problem. Yeah, taking Cage certainly seems like the best play from my opponent. But if my opponent has a Noxus Revival, we will just lose. I think I'm just going to have to trust that I get there. See, I need to draw workshops. Drawing workshops can get me out of this. Dredged into a Golgari Grave Troll. It's pretty good. Academy is a good one. Let's get a Saga going. I think I want to get to a cage as soon as possible. Okay. Academy, Mana Vault. Now the question is, do I want to use Mana Vault to play a creature? I don't think so. I think I want to use it to make a construct. So I'm going to take another 6 here, and he's still dredging. So I will eventually die to 2 Creeping Chills. And I don't actually have a way to stop that. Because I don't have a cage. Oh, sorry, I don't have a way to clear the yard. So I just need to win before my opponent dredges over 2 chills. Oh, fuck. I have a mana vault I have to untap as well. All right, well, I'm going to play the fastest clocks. I need to untap this turn or next turn. Oh, Dredge 5 hits a Narc Amoeba. Can't come into play. So I don't have to untap this turn. But I definitely have to do it next turn. So I will play this for free. No, I will play a Patchwork. And then I'll play this for free. And then I will attack with all of my things. Yeah, okay. This crawler was bad. I should have kept the Stone Coil Serpents in. That's a mistake, but not a huge deal because I guess this turn I could have maybe played a 4/4 Stone Coil instead and then equipped onto a Nettlesys. So yeah, actually it was a pretty major mistake. I could have definitely done some things differently this turn. Played out Ruby, made a 4/4 thing that had trample for the next turn. Yeah, block makes sense. Does it make sense? I think it does make sense, but I mean, he can attack and I block here. No chill. He missed on a chill here, so now he's dead. Yeah, now he's dead. I'll just untap this. And then I'll just play another one. Cool. I feel like we snuck by there. Works for me. Yeah, I don't really like how I did a couple things here, but overall the plan worked. Opponent didn't hit. Like, they hit okay, actually, but not well enough. All right. Round one. This is, like, pretty funny to me because it's, like... It's kind of very similar to what happened in the showcase where my opponent, you know, picked a deck that has... You know, it has some polarizing matchups, and then you just hit... Sometimes you hit the polarizing matchup, so... All right, we're on to round two. Did not win the die roll here. I don't mind this hand. I'm just not sure if it's good if you don't win the die roll. But I guess, to be fair, is Sphere Shops ever good if you don't win the die roll? If it's Dredge again, I'm just like checking up because I forget. I don't have the stream on, so I don't have the bot that tells me. Yeah, it's Dredge again. Thought so. Kind of remember this is a Dredge player. So 2 Dredges. Again, I think I just need to have a Wasteland, right? Like, even having this is probably not good enough. Bauble. This might be good enough. Powder. I want to keep this. My opponent's on a mulligan to 5. I feel like just having a powerful enough hand might be enough. We'll see. Maybe a powerful enough hand is just like not remotely close, and you just always need to have the Wasteland. It's possible, especially on the draw here. But my opponent is mulliganing, you know, so maybe there's a chance. And maybe I'll just rip that Wasteland again like last time. This is kind of similar to last time where I knew I was against Dredge, mulligan towards a Wasteland, didn't find it, then ripped the Wasteland, and then died anyways. All right, up to 6, down to 3. Hollow one, hollow one. We can beat a hollow one heavy hand, so I'm gonna go Mana Crypt, Patchwork, Saga, Soul Ring, Mana Vault, Bauble, Metal Cyst. So now I have a 5/5 and a 6/6, and my opponent has 2 4/4s. I have an active Saga. See how fast they can dredge. They chose to natural dredge here. Ah, they had double Bazaar in their 5-card hand. Seems good. So I don't think we're beating that. Well, glad I didn't like rip a Wasteland just to get double Bazaar, I guess. 2 chills. I mean, my opponent can't attack me through this stuff, but I'm just not going to be able to race it, right? This is going to bring back like 8 creatures or something. Man, Dredge is so broken. All right, we'll have to lean on the sideboard games again. Yep. Also have things chipping away at me here. Another patchwork. All right, well, I will play a patchwork and then I will pass because I certainly can't attack and win. I would need to have like a Stone Coil Serpent and then like double Nettle Cyst equips. Let me just make a construct in response to this so I can F6. Maybe my opponent mills out somehow and they like dredge badly. Doesn't look like they're going to. They did a 3 there. They have 2 more things. They hit 3 Narcomoebas there. So they just need to win in 3 turns now. No, they need to win in 2 turns now. So they get 1 attack, 2 attacks. They only get 2 attacks, but I think that's more than enough, right? Looks like it's more than enough. Yeah, it's way more than enough. Wow, I take like 20 here. Yeah. Okay. I don't think we were ever winning this game regardless of anything at any point in any time. So that's Dredge. And I'm going to bring in my 10 cards and see how it goes. Null Rod is out. And this time I'm going to take out the Crawlers, not the Stonecoil Serpents. My bad about that last time. And Karn and Metamorph. Metamorph is probably fine, but this looks good. Maybe Metamorph is actually better than a Stonecoil Serpent. That's probably fair. Okay. Yeah, like I don't have a ley line or anything in my deck because I don't have Golos to tutor it. So once they get that wide, it's just going to be really hard to win unless you've got sufficient like Wormcoil engines or something. Kind of trying to prevent that from happening. All right. On the play. Any ley lines? Got a ley line. Oh, I fucking left in Chalice. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm keeping it anyways. What did I forget to take out? I guess I could have kept in the Stonecoil instead of Chalice. They kept a 7. There's like no point in playing a Chalice out at all, so. All right. Trinisphere will stop Hollow One, so it's better than playing Thorn. All right, we go to the next game. Leyline plus Trinisphere was enough. And I get to take out my Chalice. See, doesn't even matter. Where's the Chalice? Oh, it's over here. Okay. I can keep another Stonecoil instead. All right, so we got our free win on the play. They got their free win on the play. Now on the draw, can we break Sir with another 7-card Leyline hand? That's what we're really looking for here. Okay, what do we got? We've got double cage sphere. Ooh, man. Is this good? Damn. Now that's a question. Is this a keep on the draw against Dredge? 7-card Dredge keep on the draw. I kind of think it's not. Is that crazy? I kind of think it's just not a keep. I don't think this deck is going to win versus a lot of draws. I guess they have to have double interaction to stop Cage, but then we also need to like beat Hollow Ones. All right, I'll give it a shot. I could be convinced this is a mulligan, to be honest. I could see this being a mulligan. They kept a 7-card keep. Grief my Cage, force my Cage. I guess if I draw a Mox, I can play Sphere plus Cage. Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. I don't know. Let me know in chat if you think this is a keep or not. I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, duh, you have double cage as a keep. I just don't know that that's good enough. We have access to ley lines and wastelands and all kinds of things. Like cage is certainly here, but it's like a lot here for Oath. It's kind of splashable. Yeah, hollow one. Hollow one is certainly what I'm worried about. I'm pretty sure I am supposed to lead with cage. I guess I could lead with sphere. Make them have a force because they didn't have a grief. Like it's kind of risky, right? But maybe they don't like dredge enough on their turn for it to matter. I'm trying leading with sphere here. If it gets forced, then that's fine. We just slam the cage. Like if they have a force, they're kind of forced to use it. And if they have a force of vigor, then we got them. And then if they don't, then we just play a cage. All right. And then next turn we can play a sphere to protect our cage and then play another cage. All right, we're stopping two Mark Amiibos from coming, two Prize Mogums and an Archamiibo from coming in right now. It's quite good. Opponent pitched 2 chills. 1 card left in their hand. Okay, so they have a Dredger and an Unknown in their hand. We have to beat a hollow one. Seems pretty doable. So I have 5 mana. I can go Patchwork, Cage, Sphere Resistance. That plays, but I know they don't have Vigor, so plays into like a Mind Break Trap last card, but it builds my Patchwork the most possible. Patchwork, Cage, Sphere, and then we'll play a big Stone Coil after this, and hopefully that'll be enough. They're dredging for the 2 chills at this point. Is that what they're trying to hit? Because they can't bring anything back. But they can't cast anything because of Sphere, so if I take this, I go to 12, and I'm not going to die to chills yet, so I think this game's won. It's kind of cool. I drew dead card, dead card. Stone Coil is 4/4. It's big enough to block the hollow one, so Stone Coil clearly better than Scrawling Crawler there. Obviously, it's just a mistake in round 1, but we'll take 2 quick, easy Dredge wins for Sphere Shops, and we're 2-0. All right, we're 2-0 in this challenge, playing against the Deck 84 on Lurrus Breach. It should be a pretty reasonable matchup, actually. I like the Sphere Shops deck into the Lurrus deck. I'm okay with this. Double Wasteland, Strip Mine stuff. Obviously, it's not the best, but it looks fine. Go Patchwork Mox, go. Untap Sphere Waste. Certainly a lower power level than we'd want to see, but just in case there's a bobble, let's get this Memorial down. Just F6. So yeah, that's pretty simple. We'll play our Sphere next turn, and then we'll waste, or we'll waste, and then we'll play our Sphere based on kind of what the opponent chooses to do. Though we can pay for a daze. Not that there's probably a daze. It's probably just Lurrus PO, not Lurrus PO. Lurrus Breach with Drains and Gifts is what the Deck 84 has been playing recently. Sean style. I do think a Patchwork is a nice, hard to kill clock. Sphere should help slow our opponent down a little bit. Obviously, I'd like to play Sphere on turn 1 here, but it just doesn't feel like a reasonable thing to be doing with the way this game looks like it's going to progress, right? Patchwork is not the best in terms of being able to sequence, you know, super optimally. Like we'd love to have been able to play a sphere, but now my opponent knows that I have Strip Mine Waste and Sphere. Free Probe. Obviously, Sphere would be pretty good against Free Probe. But again, like if I play Sphere on turn 1 here, if I go Mox Sphere, then I'm not getting any counters on my Patchwork, and then I can play like a Patchwork next turn and waste. So I just immediately have Lotus stock up. Okay. I don't think that's like the end of the world for us. Like they probably need to find a fetch land so that they don't get immediately wastelanded, but the Sphere should still be good. They probably have to find a force. Our hand doesn't have a lot of action. I just don't like. I know what my opponent's deck is, but I don't think a Sphere into a 1/1 on the next turn is like as good as playing a 1/1, you know, attacking for 3 on the next turn here. I could have been wrong. Like obviously this was a lot of spells on turn 1, kind of abnormal for the opponent, but opponent's deck, but not like super abnormal, right? Like they're still a full big blue deck. But certainly I got a little punished for not leading Sphere here, like Mox Sphere go. Then I can play my 3-drop and waste. Yeah, I guess I got punished because I guess I was just wrong, right? I'm wrong because I'm on the play and I do that. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is if my opponent has a force and forces Sphere, it's like the end of the world because I won't have anything. But if I play a Sphere and resolve a Sphere on turn 1, then I would have, you know, they would have to fetch to play their Moxen and Lotus and stuff out. So it would have actually been pretty good. So. Do I play out the waste or do I play out the strip? I think I just play out the waste. It's going to confine my opponent a little bit more. If they fetch the basic, then we strip the basic. They might have 2 basics in their deck. They know about the strip mine anyways, so. I don't know. The Sphere resolving means this play that I have done here is actually kind of good because I have an active clock that's very threatening for my opponent. Like, I don't have to play any spells into mana drain for the rest of the game. I have triple waste as my triple spells that don't go on the stack. So, like, my opponent has to breach kill me through a Sphere at the moment and a clock, which is pretty good for me. So, all in all, it's not actually a bad spot. 3/3 is like a significant power. You know, it's turn 1 Delver secrets. That can't really be easily removed. See how many fetches they have. Okay, in the beginning of combat, I'm just going to hit this. What is this? Gush? We play Gush? I don't know what this is. Oh, main deck Ancient Grudge on my Sphere of Resistance. I see. It's pretty good. And they have they have an Emerald here to cast the Seth flashback of Ancient Grudge. Oh, boomers, man. Boomers are too good. That's crazy, by the way. They've got the Emerald to cast it. He didn't know about my second Wasteland though, so this is news to him. Got a Bauble here, which is quite good. I think we're still gonna just win this with Patchwork because he needs to get 2 lands out to flashback Ancient Grudge and beat Ward. So with Strip Mine, I assume we're gonna be good here. And no more Moxen because of Bauble. That's crazy. I guess he can technically Ancient Grudge the Bauble or the Emerald. That's true. I didn't, yeah, but like the Patchwork is still basically going to be 2 turns of attacking here. Crucible. Okay. I will strip mine you. I am going to cast Crucible pre-combat because I want the Patchwork to win into attacks. Chain my Bauble. Yeah, I'm going to recast that Bauble. I think it's more of a prohibitive than a Crucible would be here anyways. I guess I could get... There's nothing to daze on the stack. This does make it so this is always 2 attacks. My opponent has a force, pitching a Flusterstorm. So my opponent has 2 cards in hand, and I have a 5/5 patchwork that they need to kill, or they need to breach kill me here. They might be able to breach kill me here. I don't know. No. All right, that went really well for what happened. Obviously, we had triple wasteland, but we kept double wasteland, so... yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we were trying to accomplish here. They didn't see any null rods, but we were aggressive. So the question is, are we playing any traps, any cages, or any ley lines against Sean Breach? Not an easy question. Ancient Grudge, huh? Kind of like ley lines. I feel like I like ley lines. Metamorph, Stone Coil. Stone Coil, Stone Coil. And then maybe 1 tutorable cage and then no traps. But we are on the draw. It's actually really hard. I have no idea. Because I kind of like all the restrictive elements here. I just like don't know if Leyline is what we are looking for, but it's not bad. Takes away a lot. I think it is what we're looking for. I don't think I'm going to bring in all the cages. I think I'm going to bring in 4 ley lines and 1 cage. And I don't think I'm going to bring in trap. I think I'm just going to take out Stone Coil and go like this. I don't know, though. I don't know. I haven't played this much, too. But I really think of all the decks in Vintage, all the non-Dredge decks in Vintage, this is probably the best one I played Leyline against. They're multiple Breach, Ancient Grudge, Gifts Ungiven uses the Yard, Lurrus uses the Yard. I like this hand a lot, too. I can 1 in this. Yeah, I can chalice on 1 in this matchup too if I want to. I don't think it's like amazing, but it beats Chain at least. Probably do it for 0 though to try to bait a counter spell. Unless they like mental misstep my vault or something. I don't think he would have mental misstep still in, but he could. Sphere. We need more lands in this hand, that's for sure. Maybe we just play Crawler or something out. I'm gonna play a Mana Vault, see what happens. Oh, I guess I can't play a Chalice for 1 if they do that. Right, I will play a Chalice for 0. He has turn 1 mana drain, so that's something to consider as well. I might not jam Karn directly into turn 1 mana drain off pedal. I'm kind of surprised. Like, actually, draining a vault here is not actually that bad. It's kind of interesting. I don't think I'm going to jam any of this stuff into into a mana drain here. I guess I could, like, at the best, I could jam a null rod into it. Okay, that resolves. So I think I'm gonna pass. I don't think my opponent. I don't think I gain a lot from doing anything, and I think my opponent does. So I think this is better for me. If I didn't know my opponent was on a drain deck, I probably would jam something. But the Ancient Grudge, Tropical Island. Are we stocking up? Or are we stocking up? Probably, right? Oh, walking. Yeah, walking is good. Get up to Gifts mana. We unfortunately didn't open with the ley line, so it's not great. Trop Volxy. Red, blue, Ancient Grudge, my mana vault. Yeah, I'm getting bullied by Ancient Grudge. Classic. All right. Saga Gaming. It's quite interesting. I mean, this Ancient Grudge is like a complete and utter nightmare. I don't know why I'm playing that first. If I'm playing a 2-drop this turn, like a restrictive 2-drop, like a sphere, so that he would have to use pedal to do it this turn. If he wanted to, he could have grudged the chalice in response. I should not have played this saga out. It was pretty bad. All right. He's got a huge mana advantage. He's got a 1-mana or 2-mana graveyard removal spell for an artifact. I have an active saga, but I don't think I'm restricting my opponent enough at the moment. 4 lands, 3 cards in hand. I want like a wasteland here, so I can just go like constructs. I'm gonna have to pass here and make constructs. There's just no way it's not constructs. The problem is, like, I'm probably just dying if he plays gifts, right? I guess I still have Chalice and Sphere, but it's probably not enough. Well, it's got to be constructs. There's no way I'm casting a spell here instead of making a construct. The good news is that there's no like easy gifts. Like if he gifts, it costs 5. I mean, it's probably still winning. He probably has like rebuilds and stuff, but Grudge is like such a weird one because like needing the green is actually quite challenging, but it is quite good against classical artifacts if you can get the mana to go for it. Weird place. Somehow I feel like letting my opponent have 6 mana as a Shops player is probably not good for me. But I haven't had any Wastelands this time. I haven't even been unlucky and drawn like the ley lines yet. I'm definitely not going to want to show my opponent ley line if possible so that they don't know about it going into game 3. Let's see what they do here. I'm going to make construct and then we'll see what we draw, because if we draw like a certain amount of mana, like if we draw a mana that we can play both a null rod and another sphere, then we probably want to. But if we don't, maybe we want, yeah, I mean, maybe the answer is simply like make a second construct and then get a Lotus and then Lotus into a null rod or another sphere. I don't know if any of those things do anything though. If my opponent has like a rebuild or something like that, can't really play the game against it. My opponent, like once you have the blue mana base, then you can kind of cast whatever you want, and the Shops player is just like a little too far behind for it to matter. Our hand was pretty low mana to start, and then we've been, you know, working with what we've had, but we're just so far behind. The Ancient Grudge on the Mana Vault was definitely not amazing for us either. But I don't know that jamming like a 4-drop on turn 1 into a possible drain would have been a great play either, but it would have definitely, you know, I mean, the Mana Vault, I don't know, Mana Vault trading 1-for-1 with Grudge and not making mana is like not the end of the world. It's certainly not the worst thing that could have happened, so I don't know the answer. But we're here playing Magic. What do we want to do in this game? We want to put 2 constructs in play and play more restrictive pieces. That's what we want to do. I mean, if my opponent has rebuild, we'll just die, so I don't think there's any reason to worry about that. Another Mishra's Workshop. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go construct. Oh, but I could have Cage and strand this Grudge if he lets me. Probably supposed to. I'm gonna attack losing 1 damage to see if I can beat a spell out first. If he doesn't have rebuild now, he's actually in like a pretty rough spot because of Cage stranding the Grudge. But if he does have rebuild, we are pretty lost. But at least we can replay our whole board. We can go Cage, Chalice, Sphere with this second workshop. If he just waits till end of turn, though, like we'll die. I don't know that I want to play a spell into like a drain here, but I think if at any point it was acceptable, it's now. So I think it'll be second sphere. I think it's better than a null rod with a chalice out. I wonder if I caught him by surprise with the cage out of the Saga tutor. It's classic. Not cage grudge, but Saga finding silver bullet toolboxy heat piece for something, and you have to respond before the Saga player chooses. I don't know, man. Saga's such a cool card. All right, 5 damage. I didn't bait anything out, so post we'll play another sphere here and see what happens. We squeeze 3 mana drain into I don't know, gifts or something, but we at least have some leeway and gifts with the active cage and stuff. So this looks like it's gonna be the drain. Oh, just consign. Sure, consign's fine. We still have you know, a possible lethal attack this next turn if we can get two artifacts in play. We do need a mana to do that, but I guess that's yeah, okay. I mean, we might have got him with this cage. This cage might have been what we needed. This is 3 mana. Oh, put Lurrus in hand. You could play Lurrus. Just blocks though, like doesn't do much. Feel like we might have caught him off guard with this cage. It's a lot of lands, huh? All right, so if I draw a land, I can put lethal on the table here. Null Rod. Unfortunately, that does not count. All right, well, I'll get a Null Rod in play. Opponent can now just go to 1. Like a 0 drop or a land would play 2 spells to make him have to jump with the Lurrus, but now he actually can choose whether or not to jump with the Lurrus. I assume you just don't, right? Well, unless you want to be able to fetch again, which probably you don't want to. Maybe you want to be able to fetch again. That's kind of the only difference, right? I guess theoretically, if... I mean, I think if a rebuild happens, he probably just wins no matter what. But if a rebuild happens, he gets to bring back a Lotus Petal, I guess. Or like a chain that hits just cage. I don't know. I didn't have a choice, right? I needed to play 2 spells, and I did not have the ability to play 2 spells. I guess I would have needed more than 1 mana. Or a Mox or something. No, I guess a Mox... Yeah, a Mox would have gotten Chaliced. So I don't actually know what I needed there. I guess I needed a land that produces 2 or more mana. Yeah, I guess that's the case. All right. I mean, this cage surprise turn off grudge might be enough here. We'll see what happens. He's got to combo kill us here or do something very extraordinary. Bouncing cage with a chain and then grudging, you know, maybe that's enough, but one thing we could... Oh, I am super dumb, aren't I? Well, so I could have played Scrawling Crawler, but isn't having a Null Rod in play better? I guess if I get Brotherhood's ended, I just die. Okay, I got Brotherhood's ended. He would have had to block with the Lurrus. But now, actually... Oh, there's a grudge still, right? Oh, oh, but he gained 3 because of the Lurrus. I thought this would be really good because it strip mines the tropical island. Ah, damn. Brotherhood's End, huh? So I would have made him... if I had played the Crawler instead of the Null Rod, I would have made my opponent jump with the Lurrus. So that would have been something worthwhile. They did forget to bring back the Lotus Petal with the Lurrus, though. Not that it mattered, because I played a Null Rod after. So this is currently dead on board for my opponent, right? No, not yet. Maybe I shouldn't play the Null Rod, so I could have Nettles just equipped. Brotherhood's End, huh? We've been hit by some crazy anti-tech here. Brotherhood's End, Ancient Grudge. Brutal. Yeah, I mean, I have regrets, though, that I didn't play Crawler out so that my opponent wouldn't have Lurrus after. But I mean, like, the odds that I do live or anything after this is very low anyways. Just chain my guy. Wait. They had chain too, huh? Chain, Brotherhood's End, Grudge. So he can actually buy... Oh, I'm stupid. Well, with the no rod, he couldn't, like, buy back the pedal and then Grudge. So maybe, Ancestral, Lurrus. It's pretty good follow-ups. Patchy Boy. Pretty dead. Gonna go to 2. Wow. Counterspell, 2. Train my Patchy Boy. I think a Crawler is still better than a Nettle Cyst. They have Force too. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely could have taken some sequencing changes here, but my opponent's cards here were really well lined up to beat what we had. If I had played Scrawling Crawler, though, this Lurrus would not have stayed, right? So I threw this game. I thought Null Rod would be a better anti like combo card here, but I didn't consider. I kind of considered like if they had a rebuild, I would just lose. But Crawler would have dealing 1 damage on upkeep actually did matter on draw. I was kind of considering rebuild. I wasn't really considering Brotherhood's End. So I think that was a mistake and a winnable game that I threw, which is kind of interesting. Pretty cool. I think I just played the wrong hate piece there. I knew that I couldn't get to lethal, but I guess, what did I miss? I missed a fetch +1. I must have missed like a fetch damage there that changed that, so Crawler actually mattered. Wild. Because I actually think we might win that game if I get my opponent to block with Lurrus, wipe the board, because then we get to follow up with a Nettle Cyst, right? I mean, we might not, considering my opponent has access to chains and ancestrals and all that kind of thing, and maybe that's just too much. But it's close. Like, it's close. We might get there. Because they do gain 3 life back from Lurrus, so they would be able to force... They wouldn't be at 1. So, interesting spot. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I was saying how this matchup I think is quite good for us, but if my opponent has that much hate, then he looks like he's prepared, right? Like, that's a pretty hefty... I know there's a main deck rebuild as well. The deck 84, it's got 1 main deck Grudge. Oh, there's no main deck rebuild. Okay, there's no rebuild at all. Interesting. He must have deviated. So there's a main deck Chain, a main deck Grudge, the counter spells we were talking about, a Dress Down, and then there's Consigns in the board, and another Ancient Grudge in the board, another Dress Down in the board, and a Brotherhood's End. Okay. Okay, so... All right. We just want to overwhelm our opponent in the beginning of the game when they don't have a huge mana advantage. How many main deck traps? 1 main deck trap. 1 negation. Okay, I mean, not as bad. We can have a ley line again as well, which would be quite good because they only have 1 chain, it looks like. They had a lot of their one of different pieces of interaction there. Oh boy. Yeah, I think this is acceptable. If I didn't have like the wastelands, it probably isn't acceptable, but Leyline, Null Rod, Wasteland, Wasteland with Workshop seems fine. It's going to be a little bit reliant on like what we draw and if we can resolve anything, but seems reasonable. It might not be reasonable. Maybe I just like don't have enough action here, but I feel like with the Wastelands, those should help. Opponent has like so many fetchables that are wastelandable, so the pause after the Leyline of the Void. I don't think Leyline is like the end all be all versus my opponent's deck, but it certainly helps. He can just just like do enough things, like play lands and stock up and then eventually win that way. But it certainly takes out a lot of his avenues, especially with double grudge. But I don't know, not having a clock in this hand is certainly a problem. But hopefully we can take out like the play lands avenue by having a bunch of wastelands. Oh. This kind of signals to me that my opponent's going to have some mocks in here. Force, pitch, force. See what happens. I'm not going to play out my mana crypt for no reason. Can hold it for a patchwork, or if I don't need it, which I probably won't need it for a while. Man, I don't know about this game. Seems bad for me, but my opponent also has 6 minutes on their clock. Classic boomer. I love playing against Deck 84 fun guy, Luca. I haven't seen him in a while because I haven't been to like 4 seasons or anything, but all right, Mox. I meant to strip mine my opponent here. Oops. I meant to wasteland my opponent pre-combat there, but I accidentally clicked through it because I was off cadence. I think I'm gonna wait. Sorry, I'm gonna wait now because if my opponent is gonna drain this, I kind of want them to use this pedal though. That was my fault. I just I did the thing where I yielded until there. Yeah, now I think I'm just gonna die, but that's fine. Maybe they'll fetch now and fetch a basic and I'll strip mine it. But it seems like I'm gonna get drained here. Not even bothering with that basic nonsense. Guess they have a sapphire. Okay. They only get 2 mana. They can buy Lurrus, but they lost their black source. They can stock up is the best thing they can do, which is like kind of always true for their deck at all times. Stock up is so good. Is it buy Lurrus? It's buy Lurrus. Okay, so they're gonna need another black mana to play Lurrus. We don't have any action. We drew a bit too many lands and mana, unfortunately. They ripped another second Underground Sea. So they fetched an Underground Sea, and then they ripped an Underground Sea to get a Lurrus in play. Just a 3/2 lifelinker, though. Patchery boy. All right. I will play a Patchwork. I'll play a Ruby to get it to a 2/2 right away. And then we'll see what my opponent wants to do with that information. They might trade another fetch. Wow. So many lands. No trade. Wasteland. Cuts them off of DT, I guess. God, I love a Crucible, huh? Crucible would be sick. I'm not winning this race, so I guess we're waiting. All right. Need another threat. Null Rod. Seems good. Consigned. Oh, they could have hit my trigger there if I wanted to. I don't think I'm gonna like go for an attack. I can't really. I'm still not running a race with attacking. I think I'm still willing to trade. Another fetch. Wow. Those are good. Sphere. Certainly something. They can grudge the sphere and then kill the patchwork now. Still not winning a race. So by playing sphere, they can go ancient grudge on sphere, and then you're getting tropical and that thing. Oh my god. Ah! Okay, so many lands. Another so bad for us. I don't know. I just kind of needed to draw action all game, and I drew all lands all game, which is maybe what I should expect. At least I'm not drawing ley lines. Another patchwork. If this resolves, they got forced. Okay. Force pitching dress down. I was gonna say, if this resolves, I'll probably attack, but still not winning the race. Am I winning the race? I deal 5 and I take 3 and I gain 3. Crawly Wally. All right. Does Crawly Wally resolve? All right, I'm gonna play this and attack. They have 1 card left, so take a damage. Probably not. I'm probably going to trade here if they let me, just because I don't want them to draw another card from the crawler, but I'll take an extra card as well, but I think their card is stronger than mine. All right. Patchwork. I think I should just attack with only patchwork here, because I can only get it to 9. They have to have an answer for this exactly. Or jump with, okay, jump with Lurrus. Okay. I mean, I have a sphere, a ley line, lethal, and they're taking damage from draw spells, so should be good. See what happens. Got there. Woo! Big win. Wow. After the misplay, I guess, in game 2, I was a little concerned there, but the ley line looks like it probably did a lot of work, and pretty happy about how that game went. Cool. Okay, here we are. Now 3-0 in our Vintage Challenge post our showcase defeat. Honestly, Raker Shops is running very nice. I think we're going to play against some Lurrus control here, though, so see how it fares. Actually, maybe a matchup that's not too bad. We got lots of options here. Obviously, Wasteland's a problem, but maybe we lead Crawler. Leading Crawler is okay if Chalice resolves, so we can't get Bowmastered right away. Crawler's pretty bad against Bowmaster. Probably a card we might want to see if we can take out if that happens. But let's start with Chalice on 0 and see how my opponent reacts. Okay, I think I'm gonna jam. I'm like really worried about getting Wastelanded out of this game, so I'm gonna jam Crawler. Obviously, I could play Sphere, and I think Sphere is like my best play. If I had another Workshop in my hand, I would probably play Sphere this turn. But without Sphere, or sorry, without a second land to follow up against a Wasteland, playing a Sphere and then getting Wastelanded, it might be like just I lose the game on the spot. And I think that's like a fairly common thing that I look to do when I'm playing the Wasteland decks is trap my opponents under their own spheres. So I don't like want to put away my hand necessarily. I think my hand is pretty strong, but I think that I want to try to maybe play around those aspects. Immediately get my Crawler forced pitching Cruise. See if I get Wastelanded. It's less likely to get Wastelanded because I'm not Sphere, but it's still something that could happen here. Ancestral, maybe. That's why they counter Crawler. I think it'll be Ancestral on my upkeep. Makes sense. Hopefully we draw lands. We didn't draw lands. Okay. I mean, I'm going to play a Nettlesis. I don't think Norrod's really going to do anything here, so. But I think we're going to lose this game. I mean, my hand just does not line up well against what my opponent has here with Force of Will. Oh, they don't have the Lorien revealed. Okay. I thought they were getting Ancestraled here. Maybe if Lorien revealed means they'll play a land out. There's a Tundra. That'd be really nice. Not getting Wastelanded here would be great for us. But if we get Wastelanded here, we are in trouble. Nope, okay. And they still have a Tundra in their hand that we know about, so they're just jamming a Frog in play. This thing can be like a 2/6, which is quite strong. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is play a 1/1 Stonecoil Serpent. And a Sphere. No, 1/1 Stonecoil Serpent and a Null Rod. No, that gets Bowmastered. I think I'm just going to play a 3/3 Stonecoil Serpent here. Well, getting your Stonecoil Serpent Bowmastered would be pretty bad. So All right, so they have a fatal push. We know that one of their cards in hand is Tundra, and they have 3 unknowns. Just never drawing mana here was pretty bad for us. I guess drawing Moxen would be even worse. So, I mean, I guess there's a world where my opening hand is a mulligan, right? If we know my opponent's likely to be on Frog, maybe opponent opening hand's a mulligan. It's really hard to do that though. I guess I was kind of surprised that my crawler got forced. That was part of the problem. Nihil Spellbomb, just a cantrip maybe. Looking for Swords to Plowshares on my Stonecoil Serpent. Okay. Still can't really attack into them with the Germ because of how big the Frog can be. 4 cards in hand. All right, at least I'm not dying. Another Stonecoil Serpent. All right, I think we'll just keep playing those out. If I could like play a 2/2 Stonecoil Serpent, I think I would. Am I going to attack? Yeah, I mean they didn't have a swords before, so they would have to draw swords now. And even then, I would start getting in with the Nettlecyst, so I think it's actually acceptable. We do need a tempo in this game to win, so if I had gotten Wasteland in this game, I would never have had any chance, which is pretty crazy. I don't think my Sphere does anything either, so I think we're just going to play Nettlecyst next. If I get a Wasteland, I will Wasteland their Tundra, though. Let's see. My opponent could buy Lurrus here. We do have, some amount of... I can always equip my Nettlecyst on the Stonecoil Serpent and get a ton of damage in. If I get an Ancient Tomb. Stony Silence, okay. Now I cannot do the equip play, but I'm still in a great spot. My opponent now has like the ability to maybe Bowmaster a Stonecoil Serpent. And block, trading the whole thing. Oh, they have a counterspell. Spell Pierce. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, I like... This can only become a 3/4 now, so I like at least 7 damage here. I'm recording, right? Yeah, I'm recording. Sweet. All right. Somewhat of a lethal attack on the way. Blue from the opponent. They draw Ancestral. They drew Probe. Okay. I have a bunch of spheres and garbage here. Can't attack. Wasteland. Okay. Let's play a Sphere of Resistance. And then we can, with that resolving, we can Wasteland this and see if opponent has a Bowmaster. And then we can make perfect information choices. F6. Do you have a Bowmaster or swords? You have a Bowmaster. No, they have a swords. No, they have a Bowmaster. Okay, so let's see where this gets pointed. Okay, so I could attack with maybe all of them still, because this has to get blocked because these have trample. No. Yeah. Because they can't actually... You could double block here. Okay, double blocking here is like pretty bad for me. So double blocking here is not bad. So he could block here, and he could pitch 1, 2, 3, block, or 1, 2. Yeah, I mean, I think this is fine. I might get Twisted, I guess. No, I can't get Twisted. I have Sphere Resistance in play. This makes sense for my opponent. Just chump this. That makes sense. I don't think I'm supposed to attack all here. It doesn't look like a great attack all, right? Double block and chump. Maybe that'd be fine. Well, just double block is not enough. So maybe I was supposed to attack all. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to attack all, because double block is not enough to survive, so he has to chump with Frog. Okay, I was supposed to attack all. Okay, whoops. That's my fault, sorry. Another Tundra into a Twister? Yeah, I was supposed to attack all. I think that was a mistake. All right, I'm gonna play a Thorn of Amethyst. Negated. Play a Null Rod. Now this has to get chumped as well, so. Okay. I think I should have attacked all last turn. I think it was slightly off. I liked how I played the rest of the game, but that turn I didn't. I think I might have missed a good attack to prevent my opponent from going like Land Twister or something crazy. Okay, how do we board for Esper Lurrus? Definitely not ley lines or traps. You could theoretically play Dismembers. You probably don't want to play Worm Coils. You could play Needle, but not really. I mean, you can't really do anything. You could bring in Cage, technically. But Null Rods need to come out, so we're going to have to do something to get Null Rods out of our deck, because Null Rod is definitely the worst card here by a lot. I'd love to get Crawler out too, but we just don't have enough cards, so I guess it's Null Rods for Worm Coil Dismember. I think it's better than a Cage. Yeah, I'm just going to do Null Rods out. We could still Chalice on 1 for Swords, which I kind of like a lot, so let's try this. I think on the draw here is going to be much harder, but I was really happy with that game. What the cards are, what our cards were doing anyways, besides maybe the 1 miss attack. I'm kind of keeping these plays quick and just like making a play, talking about it afterwards, just keeping it quick and informative and not too. I don't want to belabor the point. I'm not streaming live stream and entertaining, so I don't know. I'm just chilling out today. I had a really bad morning with the showcase and waking up and all the nonsense that came along with that. But that doesn't mean I have to have a bad day, right? Just some magic. I'm excited. I'm going to watch some TFT regionals today, maybe. Unless, of course, I don't know. If I go like 5-0 and I make top 8, maybe I'll stream top 8 of this event. Seems possible. This hand's great. Yeah, I like this hand. I mean, the Karn is not great, but the rest of this hand is good. I have Apache Boy. I've got Wasteland. I've got Crucible. I like this hand a lot. We're looking to cast that, like I said, Stone Coil on 2 will stop Frog and not get Bowmastered. So I gotta be careful with this, like yield until my main, because I have a cadence about like I have a muscle memory cadence for going through my upkeep, because I'm always playing blue decks that have upkeep things. But as long as I'm cognizant of it, should be fine. Honestly, pretty impressed so far with just classic workshops, aggro slant. It's like almost Ravager-esque in the way this deck is built. Obviously, Null Rod is not very Ravager, but I think to compete in today's vintage, Null Rod makes the most sense. So picking up some creatures that don't care about Null Rod, Patchwork, Crawler, Serpent. Nettlesis somewhat cares about Null Rod, but to be just a creature on its own, you know, it loses some power not being, you know, with a Null Rod in play, but not a huge amount. There are other options too. I didn't have enough time to really think about what I wanted to do. I could have had some different choices maybe on my other cards. Like I have a Metamorph. Could maybe play like the Canoptic Swarm that hits the yard. I know that I was talking with players at the ELD event about like some other workshop cards that have been printed recently in the new sets. I feel like every commander set has some like pretty pushed workshop creatures. So this is a turn 1 frog off of a Lotus. Black Lotus turned into a Lotus Petal. Wow, yeah, I don't like that. I'm gonna not do that yield until my main thing this time anymore. I think what I'm gonna do here is a City of Traders into a Dismember and a Stone Coil on 1 if necessary. I don't want to get hit by this at all. My opponent's gonna put that much power into it. I mean, if they do have everything, then they have everything. And I have to do this on my turn if I want to play the Stone Coil Serpent. I could, of course, just go like Wastelands. They had Negation, Pitch, Time Twister, 1 card left in their hand. I will play a 1/1 Stone Coil Serpent. See if they have like land bowmaster or land swords. If not, I think we're stable. And then maybe we can wasteland our opponent. They have fatal push. That would be crazy. Please don't have all the sideboard 1 or 2 fatal pushes. I mean, not much we could have done really about that. That's basically the worst possible outcome. That's a really bad outcome. And I get wastelanded. That's not the worst outcome. But I am now behind on this frog. I'm going to resolve a crucible and see if we can't do stuff with that. I really liked my sequence too. It did not play. I kind of was pretty happy because they led on C, which meant I didn't have to worry about Tundra Wasteland. I didn't have to worry about swords as much because they would need a Tundra, but they do sometimes have sideboard extra removal spells in the form of Fatal Push. So my opponent's gonna get to another draw here. So they're up to 3 cards now. The only real way for us to stop this is another Dismember draw or another Stonecoil draw. I don't even have like a Soul Guide Lantern I can use to exile my Serpent to bring back with Karn. Are they gonna Time Walk? That'd be so bad. Could be Lavinia. Another frog. Another frog. All right. Okay, so I think I like Patchwork, Mox, Wasteland Crawler. I don't think I guess I could just go Wasteland the Tundra, play a Scrawling Crawler. This doesn't seem very good, though. I think I need to start just wastelanding my opponent, though. Yeah, I mean, I think it's better than playing a Patchwork, right? I'll hold this jet. So at least my opponent will take damage if they draw with these frogs here. But if they draw like land bowmaster, it's really bad for Crawler because they just bowmaster this in my upkeep and kill it. Kind of need to get Stonecoil Serpents back. Man, the fact that I got Fatal Push on my Stonecoil Serpent was such a blowout. So my opponent could jump, but doesn't need to because he can make these 3/4s, so they just have to hit me. We have a Wasteland Loop, so if my opponent doesn't like draw on any lands, we have some power there. They can only play 1 land a turn, even if they're drawing 3 cards a turn. They dumped a Stony Silence. Makes sense. I don't think this should be inverse me, but I don't know if my opponent knows that. They saw No Rot in game 1, though. And they might not have enough cards. Dead cards, though, are important here. Blue. Okay, Lorien revealed. For a what? A basic? For a Tundra to Swords the Crawler. It's unfortunate. I assume they must have it right away if they're going to play it. Maybe they want to draw an extra card. We'll see. Probably not. I think they're just going to win with these frogs. Yeah. That's pretty bad. All right. I don't know if it's like actually, I don't think it's actually better for me that this happened again, but it's something. What is this? Fatal Push doesn't work yet. You need to strip mine my workshop and then Fatal Push my crawler. That's so many removal spells. Wow. It's a pretty good set of cards to have. I don't think I can come back from this. This is even my best draw. Certainly helpful, I think. Problem is I can't actually do anything until I needle these. Can't really needle them. So I think it has to be like... Because I can go city, play Karn, but I can't play Needle right away. And then I could go Workshop, play Automaton, but it doesn't really get me anywhere. I think I just need to keep my opponent off spells. The problem is, like, they don't need to be off spells. All they need to be is have enough stuff to pitch the Frog. Because they're just going to draw a million cards. So, like, I need a combination of... I mean, I need a Stone Coil Serpent that lives, right? It has to be a Stone Coil Serpent that lives. Flying 1, 2... I'm not blocking anyways, so... Alright, they're going to fly both of them. Kind of such a close game. Honestly, if my opponent trips up even once in this game, I feel like we would be actually in a great spot because of the Crucible. If my opponent tripped up even once in this game, I feel like, yeah, we would be doing well. They pitched everything. Okay. I mean, we just need a Stone Coil Serpent, right? It just has to be Stone Coil Serpent. It's the only way out. Actually, they might just have enough to pitch this Frog, so that doesn't actually help. Kind of crazy. Yeah, that won't do it. That will not do it. All right. Pretty brutal game. Just close. Very close. My opponent rolled pretty deep to get that opener. Yeah, we don't have really enough cards to make any changes. Just have to keep the null rods out of our deck here. Damn. I think it's just the Fatal Push was the Fatal Push on my one Stone Coil Serpent saved the day. Though he did have Tundras eventually and Swords, so maybe it wouldn't have been fast enough, but if we could have established our Crucible Wasteland lock early and they didn't get a draw every turn, that would have been pretty good. Not bad, though. It was a good fight. I feel like we were very close to turning the corner. Like, one good turn. Like, one turn where our opponent didn't have removal and stuff and things. So hopefully we can... we have not had any, like, Workshop 3-ball. I guess we had one against Dredge, right? Workshop 3-ball could be pretty nice. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? No, that won't do it. Not enough mana. Okay. Keep that. I like Patchwork Bauble. I think if my opponent's gonna force this Patchwork, then so be it. But, ugh, unfortunate. Patchwork doesn't get negated, so I kind of, want to get the max sequencing. Obviously, Bauble doesn't play that well with Sphere here, but it's a decent draw. I'm going to play Sphere after this. I don't have a way to sack Bauble now, so they can play their zeros, but I think that's okay. Because I could have kept Ancient Tomb, but I think it was better for me to just keep Workshop and have the most powerful stuff I can have. If we draw like an Ancient Tomb or something, we can crack this Bauble later here. I mean, it just depends. Like, they don't have that many zeros that they want to play through Sphere anyways. 0 mana. Well, I guess they can play Forces now through Spheres, but I guess that's kind of an issue. But they already used their Force. I don't know. It's tough. There's a Wasteland. I could just crack Bauble. Could just Wasteland my opponent. They'd have to have exactly Force for it to be annoying. I don't want to Wasteland my opponent more than I want to crack my own Bauble here. I have to play Stonecoil pre-combat anyways, but But that only matters for like exactly force of will, so. I need to play a pre-combat so my opponent can't just double block and it's fine. So if they have exactly another force of will, not negation, that would have mattered, but this is going to be swords on my stone coil probably. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of expected. At least we have something to do if we draw mana that's not workshop mana. This one can just get countered by my opponent with like basically anything. Oh, they have nothing. That's good. Nothing is good. 11. Maybe taking them off black is enough. Can't play any frogs. That can happen. Like that's the kind of the downside of playing Esper. So you're pretty weak to Wasteland. Okay. I like cracking Bauble. Obviously, I can lose out on a damage, but there's like a bunch of other things that can happen here. And if I draw an artifact, I get the damage back immediately, even if it gets countered. Now I'm Wasteland looping if this resolves. Cool. Ah, it flashed and then didn't go, so I hit it again and it went past it. Hopefully that doesn't lose me the game. Sometimes that happens on Magic Online. Just like a cadence thing. Muscle memory. If it like even lags a little bit, sometimes it just doesn't work out. And my opponent's probably thinking I'm BMing him, but that's not why. I just messed up. Sorry. Hopefully it just is irrelevant, but would certainly like to see my opponent at 2 life here, not at 11. Hopefully it doesn't come back and bite me, but we'll see what happens. Opponent's now paused on end step after that. Hopefully they're not mad. Yeah, I really hate the... I mean, they should be happy because I gave them an extra turn. But we never know. People people take things different ways. All right. I mean, this is looking good. It can still go south. What's this? White. So okay, so only 5 damage missed here. I can also equip now on this next attack, which is nice. So I can equip, lose my city, get my wasteland, and start wastelanding. Are they gonna do buy Lurrus here? Don't they die if they do that? Oh, what is this? Oh, time walk. That's really good. This 5 damage might lose me the game. It's quite possible. I can only do 9 damage if I equip. I'd have to draw an artifact that resolves to have a lethal attack if they tap out for Lurrus. They could wasteland me to keep me off of equip, and then I'd have to replay city to equip, which is, yeah, it's a tempo. Let's see. Losing out on 4-0 because of a misclick would be pretty sad, but sometimes these things just happen. Maybe play maybe play slower, but like I said, I didn't really want to. I just want to kind of jam and have a good time. My opponent's doing the considering. I mean, like I said, if they tap out to buy Lurrus here to get a blocker, then I have plans. Oh, they drew Lotus. So now they actually, if they have a Fatal Push or a removal spell, they kill Patchwork. In which case, I wouldn't have won anyways, but I would have my opponent at 6 less life, basically. So now they can have removal to kill Patchwork because they can pay through Ward because they drew Lotus. It's pretty interesting. And then I still have a Wasteland lock. So like I still have some things going for me here, but it's certainly a much worse spot. Now I think they're considering if they have another removal spell, do they want to wait until I like equip or something like that? All they need is like 1 extra mana after Lotus Strip Mine as well. Okay. Are they buying Lurrus? Oh, Seal. Oh, I could lose this game. Seal Lurrus loop, maybe? So they have to use a seal this turn. If they want to kill Patchwork, they have to use this. So I might actually lose this game because of my missed attack. That's pretty cool. This game might get lost on my missed attack if they end up like sealing the Nettle Cyst. Wow. I guess they can seal the Crucible. I need to draw an artifact here that I can cast with these workshops. Man, I might have lost the game on that. Sorry, chat. Damn, that's so sad. Oh well. Nope, they just went straight for the Crucible. Okay, well, an artifact wins on the spot if they have nothing. Oh, wait, it doesn't win on the spot? They go to 1? Oh, that means I lose, right? Maybe not. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sphere might help me survive with Lurrus here. Oh man, I'm actually gonna lose this game because of my missed attack. I clicked through an attack, lost 5 damage. I would definitely have won this game if I had done the attack correctly. Seal kill my Crucible is nice. Seal's good. A good change here. What can they even do here? Oh, Bowmaster. Okay. So that's going to buy them 2 turns. Is that better than trying to get to Lurrus? They need to buy Lurrus this turn, and then they need 5... Like, I think it might be too much. I guess if they draw swords, then swords wins. Sword, not push, though. It has to be 3rd or 4th swords. My opponent could cut me off, but I still have a 10-10 ward, so... Don't know that that's a good thing for them to do, exactly. Cool game. Like, this was a great game. It's really sad that this game didn't get to be played correctly because of my my misclick, but it's a sweet one. Yeah, they can't even play Lurrus anymore, so I don't actually know what their plan is because they can't Twister. They kind of just have to draw another Swords, right? Or they can draw Fetch Land or Black Source and Fatal Push without wastelanding me. This could be 3 mana Ancestral, I guess. Blue, white, just Lavinia to just a chump. I don't know. My opponent's in a rough spot because they lost their Lotus. But they kind of needed to stop the Crucible too, so it's really tough. By Lurrus. I just don't know if that does anything other than... It gets them a couple draws, right? If they draw a land, then they can play Lurrus and chump. Also, they don't have to chump unless I draw an artifact here. I drew an artifact here. All right. It's because of this extra floating mana from Workshop, I think. There was an extra pause. Okay, so they have to draw a Swords or a land to play Lurrus at least. Oh wait, a Swords doesn't do it anymore because I have too many spheres, actually. Okay, well, we almost got punished for misclicking through our combat, but we didn't, and we're 4-0. Probably luck for top 8. All right, 4-0 in this fake off-stream challenge with no chat to help me. Probably lock for top 8, but a win actually seals the deal. So let's try to get a win. We're up against probably Raker Shops, looking for I was gonna say looking for a hand that has a null rod. But what do we think about a hand that plays Chalice on 1? I mean, we could just play Lodestone Chalice on 0, but I actually don't think that's very... Like, I think we should be expecting our opponent to be playing Raker Shops here. I think that's a fair assumption based on their, no Lurrus reveal and their past 4 outings. So I guess the question is, do we think this hand is good enough with Chalice on 1? It's pretty bad against the rings still. Golem is pretty bad in general. I might mulligan this hand and just look for a null rod. Like, I just don't know if this is good enough. Like, if I go turn 1, Lodestone in a 0, and Chalice on 0, and then I play a 6/6 Stonecoil Serpent, does that beat Raker Shops, I guess is the question. And my answer is, I think the answer is no. Like, it's not great against a variety of Raker Shops hands. I'm going to mulligan this hand. I mean, the other thing is I could keep this hand, play Workshop, play Chalice on 1. Turns off Sensei's top stuff, but I'm still losing to Tezzerets and to One Rings and stuff. So I'm going to mulligan. This is worse. This is definitely worse. No land, Crucible, Chalice on 0. I guess this could also still be Chalice on 1. But then we just don't have any follow-up or anything good going on, really. I'm going to mulligan this hand, too. All right, found a null rod, but I don't have any mana. But I think that's where we're at here. So I'm going to get rid of Sphere, and I'm going to get rid of Nettle Cyst. If I get a Workshop going, I'm going to get rid of Nettle Cyst. I'm going to try to play Null Rod, Wasteland, get a Crucible lock, and that's my plan. Need to draw a Workshop, obviously, to get out of this, but I think this hand is better than my other hands against Raker. Obviously, there are Raker draws here that are still good against me, but they will help me a little bit. Like a Scrawler Crawler Workshop draw is pretty good against me. I just want to see lands off the top of my library. Like a City of Traders or a Workshop or an Ancient Tomb to immediately play Crucible is probably the best possible thing that can happen here. We'll see. They quit. They're out of here. And we weren't drawing Workshop for 4 turns. All right. I mean, this is what Raker Shops, Raker Shops has a hard time with an null rod. So how do I play against Raker Shops on the draw? I'm going to bring in Mindbreak Traps and Dismembers maybe. And then I'll take out Lodestone, Trinisphere, Vexing Bauble, Thorn. Maybe Thorn's fine. Crawler seems good. Sis seems good. Crucible seems good. Patchwork seems kind of bad. Stonecoil seems kind of bad. So maybe it's just some Stonecoils come out. Oh, I definitely want Needle. So there's another Stormcoil. Don't want Cage. Don't want Wormcoil, right? I don't think so. So Lodestone, is it worse than Stonecoil? Probably. It does make Tezzeret cost 1 more. I don't know if that matters. Probably not. Is it better than a Stonecoil? I don't know. All right. This looks pretty good. We got some good tools actually here. I'm surprised. I didn't realize that we had this many good tools. Obviously, we need to be worried about Masticores on our Null Rods now. Let's see. This is a nice hand, but I'm not gonna mulligan to a Null Rod here on the draw. I'm gonna keep this hand, and I think it has like some good things going for it, so I'm gonna try it. I don't know if this hand is like amazing or anything. Probably not amazing, but it seems reasonable enough, and I am okay with it. On the draw, I feel like trying to get too picky with it is probably not what we want. Sensei's top. That's actually a really weak start. So mold a 6. Spheres should be good here. Can only play one sphere, so we're looking at like Ancient Tomb, Patchwork, Mox Sphere. I think I'd rather have a sphere than a second Patchwork, so. Especially because I don't want my opponent to get a ring going. I do think spheres are like reasonable against Raker, like stopping the combo from being really easy to achieve. We are going to want to hit a mana source next turn here. Okay, Inventor's Fair. Spin top, nice. Okay, I think if nothing happens here, I'm going to play another sphere. Like if I draw no mana, I'm just going to play a sphere. Oh, nice. So now I can play 3 mana for a Patchwork. And then 3 mana for another sphere. Get these Patchworks going. Opponent's locked underneath these spheres a bit. I mean, I think we got a little lucky in how this game turned out, but I'm pretty happy with my keep that it actually worked and did something worthwhile. Draw and spin. I mean, we almost have lethal here. We're getting pretty close. It's going to be 10 damage with Crawler or Ancient Tomb. Might be lethal by next turn here. Looks like this might be... Ooh, phasing does not going to work. Taking 2 to play a 1-drop. A 1-drop Stonecoil. All right, so they're going to survive with their Stonecoil here. Null Rod over the top. That's got to be better than playing a Scrawler, so. All right. Boom. 5-0 and lock for top 8. Okay, welcome to the 6th round, final round of Swiss in this event. I am 5-0 and the only 5-0. So I am going to concede to Lucas here to lock Lucas into the top 8. I don't have to do this. I could play to guarantee first seed. I might even lose first seed, I guess, theoretically here. But I think it's important, especially coming into LCQ season, to maintain this kind of relationship with the other players who are grinding. So yeah, I mean, I understand if people don't want that, but the good news is nobody, I'm not streaming this live, so I'm not, wasting anyone's time or anything. So it'll be quick cut here, and then we'll play the top 8 of this vintage challenge. All right, I was able to go get dinner with my extra time here, so I am full and ready to top 8. And we are in the top 8 here. I did lose my top seed by conceding, which was probably not the smartest thing of me, but it won't matter unless we face Lucas in the finals. So for now, we're getting paired up against the deck 84 we played earlier in the tournament on the Lurrus Breach deck with the Abrade and the Abrade stuff. Not the Abrade. Why am I saying Abrade? What are we talking about here? I'm talking about the Ancient Grudge. The Ancient Grudge Breach Drain stuff. So on the play. Let's do it. Yeah, I think I'll play double creature on turn 1. Seems good. I think I'll lead Crawler, probably. This is a lot of, at least it's a lot of power. I don't know if it's actually good, but I can't imagine ever putting it back, so. I think leading crawler is safer because if I have crawler last here, then I might be like more likely to get forced, and then I could be in trouble. We'll see. I mean, if my opponent has a lot of mox in, I'm probably just in trouble regardless. But I'm not going to put back this. I don't think on the play. Certainly not. We draw 2. What do we want to see? Probably a restrictive piece in a wasteland or something similar. Strip man. I mean, see if he's got Moxen. If he doesn't have Moxen, it's not good for him. He's got Moxen, of course. Got turn 1 drain up. All right, each player draws in the upkeep here. Another Nettle Assist. And Apache Boy. Well, I'm pretty sure we're deploying the units, so this might just get drained because my opponent feels like they need mana here. Nope. All right. Well, Nettle Assist. Pretty sure I'm definitely deploying this into drain. Looks like he's got the drain. Damn. Unlucky. All right. Well, if we die, we die. I tried to bait the drain with the patchwork, but I'm definitely playing these things pre-combat to try to deal as much damage as possible. So I need to die on turn. If I die on turn 2 here, I die on turn 2. If not, then we'll see. He's got 3 colorless mana to use. Stock up, gifts. What do we got? Ancestral. All right. Take 3. These matches are so fast. I'm kind of glad I didn't stream it because, like, not much to talk about sometimes. And gifts. No mana floating. Okay. I guess if he can go land box grudge, he still dies. I'll see what he comes up with for a gifts pile here. No mana floating, has a land drop to give, can't have Moxen in hand. We'll see. I guess technically I could have played no creatures and just attacked for 8 and then not given a chance to gifts. Or I could have just played the patchwork and after resolved not played the second creature. Yeah, I mean maybe I made a mistake. Like after patchwork resolves, maybe I just attack. I could see it. I don't know. Seemed fine, but maybe I was wrong. Yeah, that might have been wrong. I also just feel like you're kind of, oh no. No, I'm not dead from here, am I? Surely I'm not dead from here. So if I put Time Walk Breach into the yard, leaving my opponent with Lotus Demonic. Am I just deterministically dead? If my opponent has a land in hand, which I'm sure they do, am I just deterministically dead because I did this? Wow. I think I fucked up pretty badly, huh? Let me think about this a little bit more. If I don't give my opponent Lotus, then they have to have a Mox in their hand. I guess that's less likely. So if I just give them DT Breach and hope that they don't have, then yeah. I'm just gonna give them DT Breach. I'm gonna choose Walk and Lotus. See what happens. They have land Mox Breach us. Might not be enough land Mox Breach us because they have to bring back Lotus, right? Fetch land. They have Mox. They have fetch land. No fetch land. Breach doesn't do it, right? It's short. Breach. Bring back Lotus. No, it does it. Because they just have DT. No, they don't. Because they have DT in their hand, but they would need a blue mana to cast Brain Freeze. I messed up. I should probably not have played my Nettle Cyst after Patchwork, but I was looking to attack, like equip and attack, right? Equip. Does equip win? Equip might have won. Equip would have been an extra 1 damage guaranteed, and then an additional 7 damage. I think I would have won, right? So I think it made sense. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I didn't think about it that deeply. I'm not gonna lie to you right now. All right. So you got back Lotus. Now what? Chain probably kills us. Maybe it doesn't. Black, DT. Is there a way to hit and get more cards in the yard? You can get a Lotus Petal here. And then what? Time Walk. Lorien revealed. He already played a land though, right? Oh. Does he just naturally... Oh, he had a Lorien revealed, so that gives him the land he needs to cast Brain Freeze. Okay. Wow. We lost this game. That's pretty incredible. I mean, I lost this game, right? I threw the game by playing the Nettle Cyst, so... But the fact that my opponent won there without a fetch land was pretty wild. It's so frustrating, but I think that's my fault. I don't know. Like, I kind of felt... I'd have to go back and look at it. It was lethal, right? And he didn't counter Patchwork. But I guess Patchwork wasn't lethal. But I feel like... I guess you can wait. Whatever. All right. Keep going. The fact that my opponent had turn 1 mana drain is classic. It's very funny. All right. So what are we gonna do here with what we got going on? I don't like Stone Coil Serpent. Was it Stone Coil Serpent? What was I taking out here? I was taking out Stone Coil for Leyline. I forgot already. When did we play Luca? I don't even remember which round we played Luca in. Is it this round? Yeah. Stone Coils and Metamorph. That's fine. Yeah, sure. I'm down. Wow, that was brutal. I don't know. Yeah, I just shouldn't have cast Nettle Cyst, but it was lethal, right? It was, or was it not lethal? Doesn't matter. Let's just keep going. I can go back and look at it later. But I mean, I talked about mana drain when it happened. I was like, well, that's why I'm going to play this with Patchwork, see what I can do. Because everything that resolved was extra damage on Nettle Cyst. And if the other Nettle Cyst resolves, I get to equip it because I have enough mana. I mean, that's kind of the problem with drawing no lock pieces. I have a fast threat, but not fast enough. Though it would have been fast enough if I didn't give him 3 mana drain mana, right? So that was kind of the... Yeah, I mean, it was just a throw. Let's not sugarcoat it. Okay. I've got a Leyline, I've Crucible, Trinisphere, seems good. Maybe I get a win for me here. Let's see. I mean, this gets countered. It's probably not great for me, but if it doesn't get countered, I get to play both of these on the next turn, so. Basic Island, Sapphire, Mana Drain. All right, force pitching, Brain Freeze. Makes sense. Basic Island again. Basic Island Sapphire. Yeah, that's pretty good. And drew a ley line. I'm gonna bait with this Crucible. See if I can get like a hard cast negation on it. I mean, if he drains it, right? Cool. All right. I mean, my opponent having double Moxen, including Sapphire, Basic Island, Drain, is just really tough. We'll see if there's a follow-up here. Could just be a Lurrus, obviously, but it could be stock up or gifts by Lurrus. All right, I gotta need a Wasteland for this Saga though. Patchwork. I feel like I just haven't had the right set of draws. That's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just playing my spells in bad ways. All right. Patchy boy. Force on my Patchy boy. Pitching Brainstorm. All right. I don't know that I'm beating Constructs here, though. Kind of needed a Wasteland. Maybe I'll get a Wasteland this time around. Another Basic Island. Lodestone. These are 3/3s at the moment. Crucible. All right. Well, at least Mana Drain costs 3 here, so I can't make Constructs and Mana Drain. I don't think I'm allowed to attack with this Crawler and trade. I think I'll just take the 1 damage every turn and hope to draw some better cards. Don't really think I have a better play. He can get the mana now to play Lurrus. Though I guess not right away. I guess right away if he uses Lotus, because he has 5 mana. Can't really attack with his constructs, so I guess he maybe could. My draws have not been amazing here. And another land. So actually, he didn't have to get he got Soul Ring, so he can play Lurrus here because he had the land. Seems good. All right, well, my spell's resolved this turn. If I draw anything good on the Scrawling Crawler, I'd trade here if he let me, probably. I don't think this gets better for me. Yeah, I think it's better for him to hold. Maybe. I don't know. It's probably close. I don't really know where I'm going from here, though, because I can't really kill these things. Maybe a Nettle Cyst or something. There's my Wasteland literally after everything happened. At least I have Crucible Wasteland. I guess Crucible Wasteland doesn't fucking do anything. Alright, well. Okay. I think we lost, sadly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're dead. All right, extra draw. Lotus can cast another Leyline. Solarian. Fantastic. I don't think that does anything. All right. I drew too many blanks, chat. I think we're dead. Damn it. I just needed to draw this wasteland for the saga token, but I just didn't hit in time. I'll have to go look at that game one. I probably threw the game one, so. Kind of actually needed to get top 4 in this event so that I could have 30 QPs. So a little bit of an oopsie situation here. Yep. As long as I get another draw, I get another draw. Okay. Oh, I will wasteland this tropical island at least. And then I will draw an extra card. I drew another Mox. And I drew another land. Okay, I just drew lands every turn here. Not good. I guess there's no point. We should be holding these for things that actually matter. Yeah, I drew really, really badly. I mean, I'm going to draw really badly. My deck is not a blue deck. Like, playing Scrawling Crawler is a detriment. But I would definitely have been dead if I didn't have Scrawling Crawler too, so I don't know if anything really matters. Oh, I probably should have played my ley line here so I can't get chained by accident. But I don't think this matters. I think he just gets to get, like, Ancient Grudge, Brotherhoods, and whatever. We just die. Like, it can just be, like, 3 different artifact removal spells, and they all win. Exactly enough to play it without fetching is pretty good. Oh, I'm tired, chat. I'm really tired from this morning. I played really badly. Oh, nice top 8, though. Can't be too sad. I think his matchup in general is pretty good, but, like, I didn't draw Null Rod, right? I also didn't draw Null Rod. I just drew all lands. I feel like we just did not draw the right half of our deck, which is a very common Shops issue. Like, a Null Rod at any point in this game means my opponent can't play. If I had drawn a Null Rod instead of a ley line or extra lands or whatever I drew along the way here. All Moxen, huh? I mean, I will put Ruby and Emerald into the bin and give you Dead Pearl and I guess no. I guess I just put Ruby. Put Ruby and Petal into the bin and give you Pearl Emerald. Okay. I don't know what that does exactly. What does that do? Is it just value? Oh, it's just killing me is what it's doing. I see. I was like thinking about spells you could cast with it. Yeah. Half the block. And then I'm just dead. That's a nice play. It's a good play. I don't have anything that gets me out of this, right? So. Because I don't have a haste attacker with Nettlesis anymore. They probably have counter spells anyways. Like I said, we just did not draw the right the right cards to win from this board position, which is fine. Just like not remotely the right cards we needed to win this games. All right, let's do just a quick look and make sure that I threw that game 1. Because I'm pretty sure I threw it. It looked like a pretty unlosable spot. I just kind of thought with my opponent not. I just kind of thought my opponent was kind of. I thought they were forced into like really like using the like if you have mana drain, aren't you just supposed to like mana drain the patchwork to make sure that you can get a thing, or like you just rely on me messing up? So like, can you really afford to not drain this patchwork? Like, if I have land in my hand, which is, like, very likely, like, it's very possible that I just don't have any more action at this point. If you don't drain this patchwork, like, isn't it horrible for you? I mean, maybe I misevaluated, but I just felt like if my opponent had drain, they're supposed to drain this patchwork. But maybe they're just, like, trying to get one more, I guess. So for me, I am looking at 7 damage, 10 damage. I can only put them to 1. Yeah, so I am looking at lethal here by playing. Like, if I play this Nettle Cyst, I do have lethal. I just can't believe my opponent didn't drain this Patchwork Automaton. If I just hold here and I just attack for 8, my opponent goes to 10. They're not restricted in any way, but they only have 3 mana. I mean, they did rip Ancestral. I guess they didn't. They could have had Ancestral in their opener. Their opener could have been Ancestral, Basic Island, Sap, Basic, Mox Sapphire. I mean, they needed exactly the 3 mana, not the 2 mana, to win this. But they don't know that because they cast Ancestral. Like, who knows what the cards they drew off Ancestral were? Like, they could have just drawn this Moxen off Ancestral, and they, like, needed this Moxen to even play, right? Oh, we don't know that. We don't know. Okay. I don't know. I don't really hate my play. I think it's, like, pretty reasonable to think that if my opponent had a drain, they're supposed to drain the Patchwork to get 2 mana, so they try to play the game. So I am not too mad. And I also was threatening lethal, so I think it is what it is. This deck seemed good. Probably can be tuned a little bit better, but I just kind of just started to, like I said, I put all the good cards in, and when the null rods were hitting, the null rods were hitting. So I really needed null rods against my my finals opponent for sure. That was a big miss, not having any null rods. Yeah, cool. Hope it was enjoyable for you. I don't get to play shops too much on this channel, so it was nice. Like, this is a pretty good example of why I don't get to play shops too much on the channel, is because if I'm live streaming a 6-round event and all of my rounds take, like, let's see, it took 10 minutes, 18 minutes, 30, 6 minutes. Then yeah, I don't know, sometimes it's not, 20 minutes. Sometimes it's not as enjoyable of a live stream product, but we got to play some nice, interesting things here. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and more vintage content on this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.